third and final segment for this week on our journeys, Chronicles of our Asian Century. And our guest just came back from China last September 26, sometime there, for 2 days with 300 people from all over the world to talk about the One Belt and One Road initiative.
Yes.
I'll show you the plenary hall there. If you can flash that, and then we'll just briefly look at the title of William Engdahl's article, which declares that this is what you saw there, Mr. Wilson Lee Flores.
Yes.
Where are you seated there? Can you see yourself?
I was in the middle.
In the middle, okay. So, that one. And William Engdahl's article says that this shows the Eurasian century, which I call Asian century,
Asian century,
is unstoppable. There's the article. The Eurasian century is now unstoppable.
Yes.
And William Engdahl, of course, is a very famous writer and geopolitical analyst. Okay, so Wilson, tell us about your experience in that conference. You're the only Filipino invited among the 300 there.
Yes, I was very happy that I saw this fantastic conference. 300 people representing business people, 100 think tanks, and all kinds of media from all over the world. Fascinating pala, we in the Philippines are not so aware. There's a huge project called One Belt, One Road, $4 trillion development project, mga massive highways, railways, seaports. It's a intercontinental project. Very exciting.
Yeah.
And I was amazed, hindi lang pala Europe and North America and Asia in this world. There's Central Asia, Middle East, Africa.
Well, we have maps of this One Belt, One Road.
Yes.
And not enough people in the Philippines understand and realize this $1 trillion
$4 trillion project.
It's not just Chinese. It's not just a Chinese enterprise. It's a humanities endeavor.
Yes, it's the biggest economic development project in history
in the whole history of mankind. Yeah.
And I was amazed. There were Americans and Europeans there talking, na in this world where Europe and North America, many people are turning inward, isolationist, anti-foreign, anti-globalization. China and these Eurasian countries are pushing open markets, trade.
Well, I just read on, I think, China Daily and the other papers that the assessment in China is that this trend towards protectionism is only going to be temporary.
Yes.
In fact, let's read some of the lines from the speech of Liu Qibao. You were there when he said
opening
this,
ceremony.
And this seminar's theme embodies the efforts to treasure historical legacy, wishes for the common prosperity of countries along the routes, and acknowledges the responsibility to the world for peace and development of China and the countries involved.
Yes.
And then finally, we should, he says, Mr. Liu Qibao, who is the member of the Political Bureau of the CPC, Central Committee, we should take note, he said, that the outcomes in terms of speed and scale of the Belt and Road Initiative have been better than expected.
Yes.
Now we have a clearer vision of the prospects of this initiative and are more confident in accomplishing this. So they are very positive and
very optimistic.
Very optimistic. Yeah.
And this is the descriptions of some of the Europeans and Central Asians, breathtaking,
well,
inspiring.
let's look at the map, no, so that people can understand what breathtaking means.
Yes, it's amazing and very visionary.
And that traverses China, Russia,
Central Asia, Europe, Africa, including Southeast Asia. Do you know why this is important now? The whole world, the economy is slowing down. But this one is pushing for growth. Very interesting.
Okay. I have been still waiting for our map.
Yes.
So people can understand the breadth and width of the entire project. Okay, Wilson, as you were saying, the breadth and width of this project is unprecedented in history, and you can see that in that map, no?
Yes.
So it goes around to Europe, from Asia and back to hopefully the Philippines
Yes.
through the different oceans.
Yes. Very good timing tayo sa Pilipinas because we have a new foreign policy and we are right in the middle of what they call the maritime Silk Road. Because
The Philippines.
Yes, because in ancient times, there was another Silk Road that passed through the sea, and the Philippines was part of it. Hopefully, with our new foreign policy, which is a balanced and independent foreign policy, we will plug in and into this One Belt, One Road, and we will benefit a lot.
Okay.
Very exciting.
Tell us about the people you met in the course of this
Yes.
2 days conference.
Yes,
Yeah.
I met many people. Like I met the former premier of Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, the former vice premier of Poland. One of the most interesting was an American investment banker called Robert Kuhn. I could not forget his speech. We were in the meeting September 27. That morning we were having this meeting. Everybody in the world watching Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton debating. Do you know what he said? I could not forget. We were there. He said, everybody in the world thinks that the most important event on earth was the debate. But he said the most important event happening then in the world was our conference. Because he said, 50 years, 100 years from now, people will talk about One Belt, One Road, not about that debate.
Okay, yes.
And he's an American investment banker. Huh?
Yes, and I think you brought us some of your photos there.
Yes, I
and,
will send more.
Yeah, and who's that with you?
That's the Robert Kuhn.
That's
the
Robert Kuhn.
investment banker who has written a book about the leaders of China and who is very enthusiastic about One Belt, One Road. And this
who's
guy is the former premier of the Czech Republic, one of the major speakers. And
So-
he said this One Belt, One Road is a good thing for Europe and Asia. He is very excited.
So you're brushing elbows with the creme de la creme of
All
the
kinds of
entire
people,
world, huh?
yes, including Russian television, RT,
Russia Today. Yeah.
yes, Reuters, all kinds. These are some of the news reports about the event.
Okay. Of course, you did manage to send your
Yes.
terracotta
Yes.
photos. Did you visit the terracotta?
Yes,
You had time,
all of us 300 were invited to see this most exciting archaeological museum. It's a must. Everybody should see this. Xian City pala, Mentong, is the starting point of the ancient famous Silk Road.
Silk Road, yes.
From China to Central Asia, the Arabian Peninsula, all the way to Africa and Europe.
Yeah. Well, I would have loved to show also
Yes.
what the Silk Road is going to look like. But
Yes.
it's trains, it is bridges.
High-speed trains, bridges, seaports, airports, all kinds of massive infrastructures, and including AIIB, there's a Silk Road Fund,
Yes, yes.
there's a BRICS Bank, and all that.
The
Very
New
exciting.
Development Bank.
Yes.
That is the name of the BRICS Bank. No?
Yes, very interesting.
And so what insights do you bring home and what do you think this will mean for the Philippines, and how do we get on this Belt and Road? Because right
Yes.
now, not all the maps show that the Philippines is connected.
Yes, because before we are parang out of the loop diplomatically, now we have a government that is reformist and global thinking. So we now have an independent foreign policy. And I hope when the president goes to Beijing this month, I hope he will finalize the connection of the Philippines to this One Belt, One Road.
Well, there are already many good tidings even before the trip is made.
Yes.
We've just read in the various news reports that
Yes.
it is certain that the Filipino fishermen will have liberty
I heard.
again in the fishing grounds
Yes,
of
in Zambales.
in Zambales, in the Scarborough, and so on.
I heard good news also from that trip that the president of the AIIB
Yes.
is coming to Manila November. I heard.
November. So
Oo.
we should be able to get
Interview
with
him.
huh? Okay.
He's the AIIB is the Asian Infrastructure International Bank. It's the
Infrastructure Bank. no?
Infrastructure Bank. It will be the new ADB, the new World Bank of Asia.
Well, ADB will not want to hear that.
Yes, yes, yes.
You
yes.
can better put it as the new partner of the ADB.
Yes, the new partner of the ADB. It's like one of the European statesmen said, it's like a company you cannot have only one bank. it's better to have 2 or 3 banks servicing you.
That's right. So there's some degree of competition.
Competition, cooperation.
But what is nice about the AIIB, from the words of our former Finance Secretary Purishima,
Yes.
is unlike the loans from ADB, World Bank,
Yes.
is that it does not demand that the borrowing country get consultants and get contractors
Yes.
from the lending countries.
Not only that, there's no political meddling and dictation.
No.
In
There's no
the-
demand for privatization
Yes.
of your state corporations.
You don't surrender
and so
your
on.
sovereignty.
That's right.
And also, China is one of the co-equal founding members. It's not a total control situation.
Is co-equal to the Philippines, who was one
Yes.
of the last.
One of
in
the
fact,
last to join.
December 31.
We were lucky we were part of it.
Yeah. So.
And I got news pa when I was there. A Canadian businessman told me their Prime Minister Trudeau just
Trudeau,
went there August 30 and wants to
Joined.
become the first
It has-
North American
It
member
has joined. It has
Yes.
joined already. So that is leaving behind the U.S.
who was very
And
upset.
Japan.
Yes,
And Japan.
they were both upset. But this Prime Minister Trudeau is like our President Duterte, open-minded, balanced in thinking, wants to be friends with everyone and do business with everyone.
I think there is not enough awareness of the One Belt, One Road in the Philippines.
Not yet, yes.
So I think before Duterte travels to China,
we should
have a media forum again at
Yes.
your famous
Kamuning Bakery
Kamuning
Cafe.
Bakery Cafe.
With your insights, Menton, Mr. Laurel, you are a very good analyst. Hopefully, we could explain to everyone in the Philippines the opportunities.
Well, of course, we'll invite our usual
Scholars, experts,
Ambassador Encomienda, Ambassador
Yes.
Romero,
Valdez, Undersecretary Valdez,
and the others
Celso Kainglet.
to present this to the public.
Yes.
And hopefully the Philippine media can bring this to the
Yes.
audience that they have. So what actions do you think, aside from the trip of
Yes.
President Duterte, and after that,
Yes.
what else should we do in this country? If we look at our
Yes.
cabinet secretaries,
Yes.
are they informed and are they aware of this?
I think they are partly aware of what's happening, but I think the good thing about our cabinet now, they are open-minded and they want more trade with China, Russia, and all our neighbors. Before, we limit ourselves to only a few countries, but now we will be like regular Asian countries. Thailand last year had 8 million China tourists. We have only 400,000+ tourists. Even Japan and Taiwan had millions of China tourists.
Well, the good news there is
Yes.
that I think the China is considering visa-free travel, or the Philippine
Very good.
government also is
Yes, yes.
proposing visa-free travel of Chinese tourists to Manila. We are now
Very
at
good.
500,000. Let's
Yes.
hope we can increase this to 2 million tourists.
That would be
And
fantastic.
that means several billions of dollars revenues
Yes.
for our workers and our people.
I agree with you, Mentong, because tourism is not an elitist industry. Call centers kasi benefit only the educated, English-speaking, city center people.
Yeah.
But tourism, it benefits the tricycle drivers, the market vendor in the palengke, the fishermen, the bangka,
The lifeguard at the
yes,
beaches.
the rural barrios, the probinsya. So tourism is actually very pro-poor and inclusive economic activity.
Yes, and so those are the good news.
Yes.
Very soon we'll have absolutely free fishing between
Yes.
These islands of ours with China, and then of course tourism. Hopefully, of course.
Yes.
The most recent good news also is that the ban on bananas,
I heard bananas and pineapples.
pineapple.
So I also have I also hope that the economic concessions given to Taiwan before will be given to us.
Such as, for example,
Because a few years ago when
coconut, for example, Taiwan had
Yes.
privilege for Filipinos to export.
coconuts,
Coconut.
vegetables, agriculture goods, we should hopefully get that from Taiwan. Because Taiwan, the new leadership now, is not very good at diplomacy, not like the previous president. So I heard the tourism of China and the business going to Taiwan is going down. We should be the one to grab it.
We don't want that to happen to
Of
Taiwan
course,
also.
of course, because they are
So
our
maybe
neighbors.
they should be, and President
Chai.
Chai of Taiwan
Should compete with us.
should compete with us at the same time,
Yes.
be closer to their
Yes.
paternal
Yes, yes. Kin.
country, you know,
Yes, yes, yes,
up north of Taiwan.
Hopefully, they will patch up their diplomatic misunderstandings.
Precisely,
Yes, yes.
because we want Asia to be at peace,
Yes,
so
yes.
that it will continue to prosper,
Yes.
especially the Philippines. You know?
We are very lucky. We have a president now who is a reformist leader, and this One Belt, One Road is accelerating.
Yes, yes.
And we will be, I hope and I believe it will happen, we will be part of this historic endeavor.
I think it's going to be providential that President
Yes.
Duterte was elected.
Yes.
That
Good timing.
General Victor Corpus is now pushing for the Philippines to be part of the deal
Yes.
to become the hub of the
Yes.
One Belt, One Road. You know?
Don't forget, Mentong, during the Spanish era, we were the middle of the galleon trade.
That's right, that's right.
From China to Spain, Mexico, and Europe.
Yes.
We were the conduit.
Across the Pacific.
Yes,
You
and
will-
now, hopefully,
You will
again.
note in the One Belt, One Road,
Yes.
it is the Indian Ocean and China Sea.
Yes,
But what we can contribute uniquely as a Philippine
Yes.
archipelago is to bridge the Pacific
to South America,
to South America.
Mexico.
That's right.
We used to do that. For 250 years, the Manila galleon trade, if you Google, was one of the most fabulous trade routes. And we were in the middle, from China, Manila, to Acapulco and Spain. It was a fabulous trade, 250 years. Hopefully, the Philippines will become like that again.
Well, we will become like that again with the positive leadership of President Duterte
And with your good shows like yours,
and
TV
efforts
shows.
of very many Filipinos and
Yes.
Filipinos, of course.
Yes,
Victor
yes, yes.
Corpus, Chito Santa Romana,
Yes, yes, yes.
who
The new
has
good-
been nominated to be ambassador to China.
Very good and a very smart guy.
That's right.
Yes.
And so this, my dear Filipinos, is the promise of the One Belt, One Road, the promise of the Philippines
Yes.
joining the rest of the world
Yes.
in a great project of humanity.
And competing with all our ASEAN neighbors. For the past 6 years, all our ASEAN neighbors are already doing a lot of business
That's
with
right,
them.
that's right.
We are the last to compete
Yeah.
now.
Since we have a minute or so more, let me
Yes.
inform the public, and
Yes.
I'm sure you know this.
Uh-uh.
Investment of China to Indonesia is over $1 billion.
Yes.
And to our closest competitor, Vietnam, almost same population, and always behind us in terms of political urgings to,
Yes, yes, yes.
to create conflict. Their investment from China is, I think, around 400 billion.
And many of those investments are factories.
Yeah, but
These
in
are
the
not call centers.
In the Philippines, do you know how much investment has come into the Philippines?
I heard very little.
$24 million.
That's very few.
$24 million.
So we have a lot of growth potential. And what's good about the investments going to Vietnam and Cambodia and Malaysia, Indonesia, they are infrastructures, they are factories, not call centers.
Yes,
Because the call centers from America and Europe, these are not long-term. You can leave anytime.
Okay.
You just rent offices.
That's right. And the worst is stock market. If you wait for the stock market,
hot money.
goes up and down, up and down.
The stock market is hot money, no commitment.
That's right.
You just click the computer.
Short time.
Yes.
Short time.
Yes,
They call
yes.
it motel money.
Yes, yes.
Motel investment.
Not
Last-
long-term commitment.
Yeah, last
Yes.
20, 30 seconds.
Yes.
Please give us your summary of your
Yes.
experience.
I was amazed that the Philippines, we should open our horizon. We should look beyond Canada, Europe, and America. We should look at not only China, but beyond China, the neighbors, Central Asia, Kazakhstan, Russia, Serbia.
Don't forget Pakistan, India, Bangladesh.
I met the editor-in-chief of the largest paper in Pakistan. When he asked me, where are you from? I said, I'm from the Philippines. Do you know what he said?
What did he say?
Congratulations, you're no longer a puppet.
Okay, with that, we end this segment. And remember, we will be with the One Belt, One Road all across the world
yes.
to become prosperous and live in peace as long as mankind exists. Okay, maraming salamat.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Oh, thank
I forgot
you
to
very
greet you.
much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Okay, we now say bye-bye until our next journey.